welcome back to NBAA TV Live right here on the show floor at BACE. We're so excited that you're joining us online from around the world. I want to introduce my next guest. This is John Hatfield. John, thanks for being with us.
Absolutely, thanks for inviting me.
Absolutely. John's with Cox Enterprises, and we're going to talk about this a bit because we want to focus on sustainable fuel, right?
Okay, right.
How important it is and where we're headed in the future. And I know your company has really led by example. So let's talk a little bit about what Cox is doing, and
Sure.
then we'll dive into the topic at large.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for the invitation to come, and we're excited to be here and tell our story. Cox is a private company in Atlanta, Georgia, and we want to lead by example and continue to grow our business on the top line, but the call from our executive leadership is let's do it responsibly. So, so we've invested hundreds of millions of dollars in different initiatives. We've invested in a company, Clean Tech. We're going to grow that business organically and across the country. And then we're also invested in a company called Carbon Lighthouse on the West Coast.
Wow.
And so we're trying to really demonstrate. When we were founded many years ago, over 120-year-old company, we've always led by example, and we've always done the right thing. And so we have a very strong mission to grow the business, but also make sure that we do it in a very responsible way.
Fantastic. And I know, really looking ahead to the future for sustainable fuel to catch on, it's going to take companies like Cox demanding it, right?
Absolutely.
Tell me a little bit about the importance of that.
Well, it's the chicken and the egg scenario. You know, how does this get started? And so the OEMs, the manufacturers, have put a lot of time and energy into this for many, many years. It's out there and available today. But it's the supply and demand. So if there's more demand, then the supply will come. So they are manufacturing it in small quantities today. So we just left a panel where we talked extensively about that. About, you know, it's about awareness and letting people know that this product is available, and you're basically demanding it. And so as we travel around the world or travel to all of the local FBOs that provide the fuel for us, we need to tell them that we want it. And then by that token, as the supply becomes available, or the demand goes up, the supply gets better, the prices will come down. There is a small price premium today, but so the more, just like anything else, the more there is, the less it gets.
But it is important to remember, this isn't something out in the future that's just in concept. I mean, this is real, this is vetted, this is happening, this is, you know, an actual thing, right?
Absolutely.
We need to make sure everyone knows that.
Yes, very much so. And as I mentioned, all the manufacturers have been doing this for a long time. The David Khalil with Bombardier was just on the panel. Gulfstream is doing a lot of initiatives in this space today. And when they fly to E-BACE, they're flying on sustainable fuels.
To Geneva,
yeah,
incredible.
They do. And so they're all leading by example as well. And so they're just trying to get us as manufacturers. They put all the research and the effort into the back end of it. So this completely vetted, and so they're just trying to get the message out to companies like us. And sustainability is a big common theme at the show this week.
So if folks are listening, what would you tell them? How would you encourage other companies to follow your example?
Talk to your providers, talk to your fuel vendors, talk to your manufacturers. You know, hear their story. They'll get you completely comfortable with the process, and then put it back to your fuel vendors. And then when you go to all the various FBOs, as I mentioned, ask for it, and let them know that there's a demand for it.
Fantastic. Well, John, thank you so much for being here.
Absolutely.
We really appreciate your time on such an important topic.
Great to be here.